Hi, I'm JP Hampstead, Strategic Analyst at FreightWaves, here at day one of Global Supply Chain Week with Adam Compain, Senior Vice President of Product Marketing at Project 44. Adam, welcome.
Thanks, JP. Great to be here as always.
Today we're announcing a partnership that brings Project 44 ocean visibility data into the FreightWaves SONAR platform. Project 44 is rolling up lane level, port level, and even carrier level insights around dwell times, delays, and rolled shipments, and even sailing schedules. And FreightWaves is presenting it inside Sonar alongside an array of other ocean container data. Super excited to announce this. It's really cool to join forces with Project 44 in this way. Visibility providers like Project 44 are a crucial part of the connective tissue that brings supply chain actors together. Can you talk a little bit about the value that Project 44 is creating by exposing this market data to a broader audience?
Yeah, surely. I think for visibility has been around for a while, as everyone listening knows. And Project 44 founded the company really around becoming and ensuring that we have a connective tissue so that all parties in the supply chain can be connected with not only data, but the most accurate, the most high quality, and even predictive data. We're doing that, of course, across all modalities, across all geographies, not just visibility, but the workflow capabilities shippers and 3PLs need on top of that. And the reason that's so important is because of what's going on, today. In terms of the value, JP, the value is tremendous. I mean, at Project 44, in the last 12 months, we've raised over $620 million of capital. And the reason for that is because we've now got over 1,000 customers from Amazon to Walmart, Starbucks, Nestle, and beyond. Every day, a new shipper or 3PL or more than that are signing up with Project 44. And the reason for 133% net retention is that customers are finding value in this. They need visibility. They need the tools to do something about it. And that's why we keep expanding this in an open ecosystem setting, including this exciting partnership that we're doing with you guys to make this data more exposed, more available to the people that need it.
That net dollar retention number is probably one of my favorite of the Project 44 numbers, because I think anyone involved in SaaS knows how impressive and powerful that can be. Adam, you founded Clear Metal in 2015. It was acquired by Project 44 last year. Tell me about Project 44's doubling down on ocean freight and international transportation, and why visibility in ocean especially is so important right now.
Yeah, sure. Well, in terms of why it's so important right now, just look at what's happening in the world. Project 44 data shows in the last 2 weeks, about 100 vessels sitting off of LA and Long Beach. West Coast is not the only place. Now about 20 vessels off of Charleston. Felixstowe has become the third most congested, and delays from China to the US, China to Europe, all kind of transit times going up. And even when there aren't that big delays like Seattle, we saw about 3-day delay in our data. What we also saw was about a 19-day dwell time. So as everyone knows, ocean world is a mess. And of course, it has always been a critical component of overall transportation flows. I mean, large, complex shippers all the way down to small retailers waiting for things coming inbound. Ocean is a key component. So for years now, both independently, Clear Metal and Ocean Insights, as well as Project 44, have been investing in this space. Project 44 saw this quite early, and of course, making 2 acquisitions in the ocean and related order visibility space for international intermodal supply chains was a move to ensure that we're continuing to deliver the best value for customers out there. A bit bold to say, I'll paraphrase an anecdote I heard from a large retailer. They sort of cut a pilot short, and I asked, why'd you do that and why'd you go with that? She said, well, yes, visibility in ocean has been around since the 90s. There are a lot of players that offer it even for free or alongside booking solutions. But correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, Project 44 bought 2 of the top ocean visibility companies in the past year, and you got customers at that net retention rate. So let's go. I mean, we're doubling down in this space to solve for our customers, she said. And we need the best provider that's not all modes, but also the best in each mode. And that's why we're kind of going forward with you. So that investment, I think, and that anecdote speaks to what we're doing here and most importantly, the value we're delivering.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the kind of the particular strengths that Project 44 has in ocean visibility. I mean, when I look at the data that you guys are pushing into sonar, there are actually some like pretty complex, derivative insights, right? That aren't just, scraping like, sort of easily accessible commoditized data, right? I mean, some of these insights are like cleaning and ordering like sailing schedules and then comparing it to real-time vessel location data to show like deviance from like plan and on-time rates and things like that. Can you talk a little bit about how bringing all of these different parts of the ocean sort of life cycle together have given Project 44 such a powerful solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, let's start with the problem, right? Unlike over the road and other modalities, in ocean, the problem is not so much about access, although it is hard data to access. It's more importantly about quality. The reason I say that is when we looked at the data, about 15 to 40% of the data that shippers and LSPs are receiving from carriers, and by the way, it's not carriers' fault. These come from ports and dray providers all across the world. That data on that order is erroneous. We're talking incorrect timestamps, completely missing data, 36-hour latency on some key milestone events like arrival at port, incorrect modes when it's an intermodal shipment. It says it's on a truck, it's actually on rail when it's being a carrier haulage move. And so there are problems everywhere which lead obviously to incorrect information for shippers and 3PLs to give to their customers, and of course a whole bunch of horrible logistics costs that arise from this, and on and on. So the problem is really strong in ocean. That's why it's so difficult to operate in such efficient way. What we're doing is a few things. First is access. We've announced recently a 90% global ocean visibility trackability on day one. So access is really strong. Beyond access, we look at the 4 pillars of data quality: completeness, latency, fidelity, and let me do that again. Completeness, accuracy, latency, and fidelity. We have proprietary machine learning based algorithms and techniques, most of which are patented, coming out of places like Stanford and Germany and Silicon Valley, to make it the best data quality that's out there, and predictive as well. So we've put a lot of investment in that space, and we bring all these assets together like we did in 2021. It was taking the breadth of Project 44's platform that existed and adding to it the depth of ocean data that Ocean Insights brought, the quality of machine learning and order level visibility that Clearmetal brought, prior Ocean Insights if I misspoke there, and put that all together. And, sorry to be long-winded about this, but we keep investing further. Just today we announced a whole bunch of things, right? Core enhancements on ocean ETA accuracy, that SLA of 90% tracking on day one, like I mentioned. Very recently, we've announced things like huge depth in barge tracking for precise routing inland and water depth, enhancements to cold chain intermodality from ocean to rail, rail to ocean, particularly in the EU, extended visibility of ocean, not just at the container level, but order line item SKU, supplier visibility for that ocean freight that you don't control, additional carrier procurement analytics as you go into negotiation season, and then the new meaty stuff, a macro port intel solution, coming emissions visibility, and then most exciting for today, JP, the FreightWaves SONAR partnership that we've got going on. And I'd love to talk more about that.
Yeah, let's dig into the data that Project 44 is now pushing into FreightWaves SONAR. We're talking about container dwell times, rolled shipment rates by port, port pair delays, right? Why are people so interested in this data right now?
Yeah, so I mean, the reason they're interested is because these are the kind of data elements and insights that act as not only the real-time understanding of what to do with ocean and intermodal shipments, but almost more importantly, they're the leading indicators of what's to come, right? So if you look at, dwell of export containers, for example, you can bet from a network design and planning perspective, a couple months or 30, 45, 60 days down the line, there may be a capacity constraint coming out of places like Asia back over to Europe and the US. And so we've designed these kind of data elements purposefully due to the demand and need for customers in the market. And then in partnership with FreightWaves, putting these into indexes that can be pulled and seen kind of in real time at people's fingertips is valuable for procurement, for kind of more longer term planning, not just spot, and overall reducing logistics costs by either avoiding those incidents of exceptions as you go over certain strings or schedules, or acting and being more proactive about your exceptions that you're running. So it's helpful, I think, for shippers to get this in their hands from a macro view through Sonar, and at the same time being able to drill into their particular shipments and orders and then manage those on a one-off basis as well. So let me pause on that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think right now is an especially like good time to introduce this data. The ocean market, is probably, is sort of at historically abnormal levels in terms of demand, capacity, tightness, and rates. But that will change. The market will roll over at some point. We don't know when, but understanding in real time, like congestion, roll rates, which have to do with service, and these poor pair delays can really show, I think, enterprise shippers in particular, where the market is softening first, right? Where capacity is loosening up first, where demand may be dropping, and where they actually can start to regain some of that precious pricing power that they've lost over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think it's exactly right. I mean, I think really what we're pointing to here is what shippers and 3PLs have been after for a long time, which is better predictability, better resilience, and agility. And the way to get there, our view has always been, is more accurate, more real-time, more accessible data. And I think by being able to access Project 44 data through the Sonar platform in the beautiful way that you guys demonstrate it and provide it, allows people to do just that. More dynamic planning, more dynamic decision making. And I think most importantly, it allows the frontline logistic professionals to up-level their day-to-day from messing around with data in Excel spreadsheets to being handed that data through a figurative smartphone, and then being able to make this the proactive, the strategic, and the customer-facing decisions and work that every one of us in supply chain is meant to do. So I think we're also doing a good job jointly to take kind of that hard data task off of the people's plates and provide it for them.
Yeah, that's a really important point, and we noticed that during our work on this partnership together. That I think that by virtue of Project 44's business and the way that you guys already have to connect and integrate so much different data just to do your basic job, you've actually become like a really like ideal data vendor in some ways, right? Because you're doing so much structuring, cleaning, and analysis on your end before you're delivering market level insights to us or whomever you guys partner with. So maybe one last question around that, like given your all's like natural position in your ability to construct these really like clean market insights, what do you guys have planned for your own market data and the way that you guys are sort of adding context to whether it's transactional level decisions or more strategic decisions?
Yeah, sure. So we always think about this from that umbrella lens of let's be the connective tissue, and let's do that hard and sometimes dirty work of aggregating the data and also cleaning it as it comes in. And we also believe very much in kind of open ecosystems, right? So most of our customers are using and have optionality between, do you want the front end application? Do you want the API? And if you look at our history, even our Twitter handle today is still freight pipes, which speaks to let's get the data into great people's hands like Sonar and then out to our joint customers. So if we look forward, we'll keep doing a number of things. First, we're going to continue investing in breadth. That's breadth of modal coverage, of geographic coverage. We'll continue investing in depth. So I talked about some of these extended visibility aspects of emissions and orders and going really deep on kind of ETAs and data quality. And then we're going to keep innovating along kind of our two core product pillars, both visibility to keep enhancing that depth and breadth, but also continuing to layer on and provide the ability to not just see, but do things about it through the full shipment life cycle, whether it's pre, in transit, or post transit. So there's a lot there, and that's kind of a big mouthful, but we'll keep going very strategically along those lines. And a lot of people, I think, from a distance say, well, what's with all these acquisitions and how do they all hang together? It's staying within those same guide rails.
That's great to hear. I know that here at FreightWaves, we're super excited about this partnership. And we kind of view that's hopefully just the first step on a long and very interesting journey together. Adam, thank you so much for joining us today at Global Supply Chain Week, and everyone stay tuned in for the rest of this event for more great news, insights, and commentary about the state of the global supply chain.
Great. Thanks, JP. Pleasure to be here.